What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be reviewing the card game Samson and Delilah. Now, in Samson and Delilah, you're going to be playing either the role of Samson or Delilah. This is a deduction game, and the object of the game is you're going to try to either win as Samson, win as Delilah if you're Delilah, and if you're Delilah, what you're going to be trying to do is you're going to be trying to convince Samson to trust you. So, let's check it out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the cards here real quick. The cards are going to have a few different things on here. They're going to have the numbers, which is going to be the value of the card. It's also going to have a color, and then there's also going to be a picture on them. Now, the pictures and the text on most of these cards are really just based off the story of Samson and Delilah, and they don't have any action type power or anything like that, with the exception of one, and that would be this one. This is the lock of hair. Now, in the game, Delilah is going to be trying to convince Samson to trust her, and Samson is going to have to make a decision on whether he trusts her or not. Depending on what happens, that is going to trigger a series of events, and through those events, you're going to see if Samson won, Delilah won, if they both lost, if they both won. So let's go ahead and show you how the way the game works. You're going to go ahead and take the deck of cards, and you're going to place it in the middle, and if you're Samson, you're going to have this Samson facing you here, and if you're Delilah, over here. Now, Samson will also be able to play cards over here on the Israelite side, Delilah over here on the Philistine side, and you're going to be able to play 3 cards on each side. Right over here is the pathway list, and this is going to just show you what happens depending on the decisions that are made or the events that happen. So, for example, it says that Samson trusts Delilah. Yes will go in one direction, then no will go in one direction, and you'll just simply follow it from there. So in the very beginning, everybody's going to go ahead and get 2 cards, and Samson's going to go ahead and start. So Samson's going to go ahead and look at his cards, and he's going to figure out which card he wants to play. Now, in order for Delilah to be on Samson's side, she's going to have to play 2 of these cards over here on her side. Any less than that, then she is playing to betray Samson. Now, where the values and the colors are going to come in is when the 2 armies are fighting each other, if they have to fight each other. The way it works is you're going to flip these cards over, and any Philistine cards that are over here, if the Israelites happen to have a color of those cards, that color card is going to cancel out all of the cards of that color for the Philistine side. And I'll talk a little more about how that works. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pick this card over here, and I'm going to lay it face down. I'm now going to give this card to Delilah and draw one and place it over here to the side of my hand. So now Delilah's going to go. Delilah has this. She has a lock of hair as well, and these foxes. So let's just say she decides she's going to play the fox card over here on the Philistine side. She will go ahead and give Samson this card, and then she will go ahead and draw a card. So now it goes back to me. So Samson's going to go ahead and look and see what he has. And he has 2 locks of hair and a temple. Now, what Samson's going to be doing is, as he's looking at these locks of hair, it's going to kind of give him maybe a little bit of an indication whether he can trust Delilah or not. So let's just say he decides he's going to go ahead and play this card over here. He'll give Delilah this, and then he'll go ahead and draw a card. And this is basically the way the game is going to work. I'll do one more turn for Delilah. And let's just say Delilah decides she's going to go ahead and play a lock of hair on her side. She will go ahead and give Samson this card, and then play will continue. So we've gone ahead and played around, and now Samson is going to have to decide whether or not he can trust Delilah or not. So let's just say Samson says, Delilah, I trust you. So Delilah is going to go ahead and flip over all of her cards, and she has 2 locks of hair, so Samson was able to guess right. So now you're going to go ahead and look at the results list, and it says, remove Philistine cards, matching the cards of the Israelite cards. So now these 2 are going to go to battle, so we'll go ahead and flip these over, like so, and we will look and see what we got. So, the Israelites have canceled out this card because they have a blue, and actually, all of the cards have gotten canceled out because they have all of the colors. So, there's no army on either side, so they basically wiped each other out. So now what's going to happen is Samson's going to go ahead and flip his cards over and see what his results are, and now he's going to go ahead and compare them to Delilah. Samson has 10 points, and Delilah has 8 points. Now, if there are any cards left over on the Philistine side, Delilah will be able to add that to her total. Samson's only going to be able to use the cards for his total that's in front of him over here. So, Samson ended up winning. So now we go back to the chart, and it says, is Delilah on Samson's side? Yes. And it says right here that both of them end up winning. As you can see on the chart, there's a variety of different things that can happen that can determine who's going to win and who's going to lose. This is a very interesting game. You have to play this game probably for several rounds just to kind of develop a kind of strategy, because there's a lot of different things that can happen depending on the cards that you play and the cards that you give and see. So you're having to kind of look at what cards you're getting, note what cards you're laying down, note what cards you're giving to Delilah, and then trying to determine what she's giving you. And it really is just kind of like a little bit of a cat and mouse kind of a thing here. Now, the interesting thing is, if Delilah is not trusted by Samson, she's automatically going to lose. But Samson might lose too, so it might not be in his benefit to do that. So he has a 50-50 chance there. Now, if he goes the other direction and says, I do trust you, and Samson still has a 50-50 chance of winning, but then Delilah also has a chance of winning too. So a lot of this game is going to be based on trying to deduce whether or not you can trust Delilah or not, and then playing certain cards in the middle to have the Israelites and the Philistines fight each other, to where you're going to have to compare cards. So this game is intriguing to me. I definitely would like to play this game a little bit more. The times I've played it, it's been like I'm trying to figure out how best to play it. It's a game where you kind of have to learn as you go along, because there's so many different options that the game can go, and the strategy ultimately is you're trying to win or you're trying to prevent Samson from winning, one of the two things there. The game only is going to come in these little bags over here, so there's no box or anything like that. It's a game where you have to kind of think, but there's not a lot of rules and there's not a lot of cards, so it's intriguing to me. So yeah, feel free to check out the Kickstarter, guys. See if it might be something you might like. All right, guys, that's my review of Samson and Delilah. We'll see you. Keep on gaming.